All right, everyone, we are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Joel, your chief host of the show, and joining me is none other than my co-host Noble.
Good morning, if you can call a chilly morning good or whatever. It's like, ugh.
Oh, dude, I've been having that the past couple of days, and now it's frosty too. It's crazy. Hey, look on the bright side. At least I am wearing basically a pseudo fursuit for pajamas, so that's a big plus.
There you go.
Hey, well, I got the solution for a lot of things though. Like, turns out we ended up finding this, you know, a pseudo fursuit. Well, of course, it's not a fursuit, but rather a thingo that's made of synthetic fur all the way over in Japan a couple of years back. Got it, brought it home, and the best part, it's purple.
Sorry, you cut out there for a little bit.
Oh, bugger.
Oh,
You
well, we
couldn't
can
hear
check
it?
it later.
Yeah, well, at least the audio went through on this side, so I'm not that fast. So it is kind of what it is, though. Anyway, like I said, I did find a pseudo fursuit in Japan in purple. Of course, it's nothing. It's just a thing made of synthetic fur. A jumper made of synthetic fur. Really warm, just like wearing a fursuit.
All
So
right.
that's kept me surviving in the cold. How about you? You have it worse down. You
Honestly,
have it worse than me.
uh, I've got a heater at least. It's working now. When it wasn't, I ended up getting quite sick.
Yeah, I know. Down there is actually quite crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I suppose there you go. Couldn't. Yeah, what you had to say. What a shame. What a shame, shame, shame. You still here?
I'm still here. It seems
Yeah.
like my internet's having a bit of an issue, so I'm going to go try to plug it in.
Oh no, I'm gonna be forever alone now. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna run the show by myself? Ah, who am I kidding?
No. Yeah.
Oh wait, you were telling me you were basically using this whole time you were actually either using mobile hotspot or something. Or running it entirely on wireless mode.
Wireless. That's how I've always run it.
Ah, true. You know. But like if you're lucky enough to still have cable connection, the most direct route is probably the most stable.
And usually you'd think. Usually
Yeah, but
Wi-Fi's
then
been stable
again,
for me.
it's thingo, right? Australian internet is basically the butt of jokes if you really think about it.
I like the fact that the US government didn't like Australia getting cable net internet because we're going to pirate everything.
Well, I mean, it's one thing to region lock your stuff; it's another to to not serve the Australian market, and thus, pirating has become a big thing.
I seriously wonder how much streaming revenue was brought into America from Australia.
Oh, well, quite a lot though. Not that I pay fork out money for any of this stuff, but I suppose if you do, I guess that's your shindig to deal with. So, I want to basically say a couple of things about the show, the elephant in the room, so to speak. Where have we been the whole past month? Why did we skip July? Well, it's because yours truly seemed to have gone and done something at an anime event earlier on this month. And well, wouldn't you know it, I ended up meeting another purple legend to begin with. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you know it. I ended up meeting a Spyro fursuit.
Oh?
Oh yeah. 100%. Like I was totally not expecting this suit, and it turns out around about here is probably one of the locals, but you wouldn't know that. You'll just see. You look at this and you just see, yeah, this is a Spyro suit for sure. Wow, you dropped. What happened?
Internet glitch.
Ah, right, because you were basically you were switching from Pingo to wireless to the other thing.
Yep.
Ah, figures. Ah, well, and a couple of other things too. As I was saying, had the anime event, and I ended up, yeah, meaning that you ended up getting interviewed too when
So
someone
how
who was
many
recording.
how many fursuits were there? Out of curiosity.
Ah, this is an anime event. Like it's. Are you kidding me? It's going to be dominated overwhelmingly by cosplays. But if I had to count the amount of furries and suits I ran into, I would have to say about 10 or so tops.
Hmm.
In an event for like five in the five digits. I mean, granted, yes, Smash is city's biggest anime event in the whole city, and usually it gets sold out at least a month in advance or so or two.
So it's one of those events where you better get in early or you lose out.
Hmm. Is that popular, man? There's so many weaves all over the place. What do you expect?
Grotty.
What do you expect? Hey, it's not all that bad though. It's not all. It isn't all guys.
Well, no, there are women too that are into anime.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. But yeah, that said though, it was great. It was fun. I got to see the Power World card game being demoed there at the event.
I wonder if that first set is going to be worth anything in the next 5 years.
Well, we'll have to wait and see about that. If the Power World card game is going to age really, really well, who knows? After all, they had just released their set a couple days back ago, and I part of not gonna lie, part of me is actually feeling tempted to just buy either a starter deck or a couple of booster packs.
Actually, how much are they going for at the moment?
All right, let me have a look. Let me have a look. I mean, I just checked one of the shops around me, the card shops, and they're selling the starter decks for like 34.95. And the booster packs are a bit of a not quite sure. Then
I might
again,
have to.
though, if you're there to collect cards, you may as well. If you're there to build certain things, you may as well purchase single cards right by itself.
I might have to look at popping into one of the card shops in where I live.
Yeah, yeah. And what wouldn't you know it? Right now the decks are sold out and stuff, so I guess people do want to get in on the whole Power World thing.
Yeah, I imagine so. Considering Pokemon's near impossible these days.
Yeah. And there's a whole lot more that with that where that came from. And speaking of that, now that we're in this tangent, you know, we are going to jump into talking about the Pokemon cards.
Oh, did you have any more photos from your whole trip to the anime con?
No, I didn't take that much. Went by myself. Took Purple Boy with me. I didn't have the sense to, me. I don't take the sense to bring a selfie stick or a GoPro or anything like that, or which I really actually should.
I'm just trying to figure out how you'd mount a GoPro to your head.
Harnesses, body GoPro. I mean, you've got options,
True.
so it's not impossible for a fursuiter to wear a GoPro or anything along the lines of that. Just one of those things. But anyways, though, I did check out the Power World card game at the store. Didn't get to play it though, unfortunately. They were at capacity. But you know what? The art looks legitimately good and all that stuff. I got this, yeah, definitely worth the go, especially if you can't, get a hold of Pokemon or MTG because they've become overpriced as of late.
I'm just hoping they don't get any scandals like the Pokemon TGC because I mean, yeesh.
Not. Yeah, well, we haven't reached that point yet. Give it time, or don't. We'll see. But speaking of stuff in the Pokemon TCG, here's the biggest thing right now. The Pokemon Company is adding facial recognition checks to prevent crime at card stores.
Sorry, this is just hilarious.
Yeah, it's really crazy that it's come to this, especially it's in Japan. And of course, the biggest problem is scalpers, people buying up all these Pokemon cards to try and resell it for a profit.
See, this is the universal thing that I find shocking. Scalping. Not only is it a problem in America, it's a problem here in Australia, and it's also a problem over in Japan.
Oh, 100%. Like, yeah. And now the Japanese government is willing to crack back against it by saying that you now need, your government ID and all that to limit the purchase and so forth and so forth. So basically, they're installing a mandatory facial recognition at 5 temporary Pokemon card stores in Japan, open from July 31 to August 16, which requires shoppers to clear a scan before they can enter and collect a numbered queue ticket. And of course, it's set to release, in a new card expansion. So that's pretty crazy.
See, this is probably where Nintendo could change things, or the Pokemon Company could change things. If you scroll up just a little bit, back down.
Oh no, that's just a.
Yep, underneath that one.
Okay, most races say I have a
Yep,
UK
no,
government facial scanner.
underneath it.
While with many limited editions and releases, scalpers are a growing problem. Apparently, the facial recognition ensures that entry is limited to one visit per person per day to limit customer spending. Repeated entries will be denied.
Yeah, see, that's the issue. It used to be you could just go in and buy as many packs as you want, but unfortunately, you've got scalpers who buy everything.
Yeah.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. I would really like to see if a scalper would actually just simply turn around. Sorry, if scalpers turned around and when some kid walked up wanting like one packet, if they just handed it to him, if they didn't get into fist fights. I mean, some of the dancing I've seen in front of vending machines is absolutely hilarious. The Pokemon card scalper dance.
I cannot believe it has turned into this. The absolute state of the Pokemon card game has just become like that. It's really something. But it's all because, money's in it, really.
Well, that's the issue. You've got something that's highly collectible. You have something that's socially acceptable to a rather large degree. And you have a company going, let's make some special rare ones that, won't get released ever again.
Oh yeah, Magic the Gathering is notorious for doing that sort of thing. Like these super collector, super rare arts that are worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And even the card I wanted to be like, got this anime art treatment, and now it's crazily priced right now.
What was it like with Magic the Gathering, the Black Lotus or something? It was like a highly sought after card.
Yeah. Gaia's Cradle is the most highly sought after card. So is Black Lotus. I know. All right, let's have a look. Black Lotus is collector's edition. Oh, I've seen listings go for like 10,000, 11,000 euros and so forth. That's Black Lotus. Gaia's Cradle, of course, on the other hand, like another super duper popular card, is also crazy. Yeah, Gaia's Cradle. Oh, 4,000 US dollars.
Yowza!
Meanwhile, if you wanted an anime treatment of of the card that I actually wanted 100% at Hazel, that there's for like about $500, and it's only gonna go up just for this, just
Yeesh.
for an anime squirrel.
Wait, so how much is this going for right now? $6.78
No,
US?
that's a normal printing that you can buy at a pre from a deck at retail. $678 is for the individual card. The deck goes for $85 reduce, but the anime treatment goes for $475.
Bloody hell. I
I know,
swear,
right?
cards are going to be the next tulips.
Yeah, and wouldn't you like to know, because cards are now basically entering a big saturated market. Like everybody wants in on it now. Powerworld's got a card game. Cyberpunk wants to get a card game. Animes is
Disney,
making a yep. Disney has Lorcana, so
Power
they.
Rangers had their own cards for a few generations, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, pretty much everything that's popular wants to get in on it now too. So what can I say? Now that said, will I buy the Power World card game? I don't know yet. Will I mean, yeah, no, there's a card out too that I want, but that's just it, really. So, in that said, though, speaking of Pokemon being on the news again, did you hear how Pokemon basically got screwed over for their lawsuit just all because of a fan game?
We moving on to Power World now.
Well, a bit of both, a bit of that, because it's. Let me tell you, it's all connected, man. You can't really talk about Pokemon without Power World because of because Pokemon basically decided to aggro Power World, and they did, and look at how well it worked out for them.
I think I need to get some red, blue, and yellow string. So
Uh,
let's see this.
right. So we've got one for you right here, right now. Okay, let's have a quick look. Nintendo's monster catching patent rejected over Pokemon fan game.
So
Did you?
this says the Japan Patent Office has rejected Nintendo's monster catching patent application after the examiner criticized footage from a
From a
2013
2013.
Pokemon fan game as prior art. The decision is a significant because it uses an unofficial Pokemon project as evidence against the application from the same patent family as the two patents Nintendo is seeking to enforce against Power World developer Pocket Pair. In spring 2026, Nintendo filed a patent application covering touchscreen based monster catching systems that some industry watchers interpreted as a potential threat to the Power World mobile. Wait, Power World's got a mobile game?
I don't think so yet. Like maybe it is. I mean, maybe it's real, but I don't pay attention to mobile games these days.
The finding identified as application number 2026 2 was not directly involved in the ongoing lawsuit against Pocket Pair, although Nintendo described it as belonging to the same patent family. Its covered mechanics include touchscreen movement, capturing items, summon battle creatures, command selection, and catching field characters both in and outside of combat.
Or I mean, one's a staple, capture item, someone.
How many lawsuits are Nintendo filing against bloody Pocket Pair and Sony?
I wouldn't even know how to count though. They've tried to aggro it, and now it's no. Anywho, so next up, the Pokemon Generations fan project cited as a prior art in Nintendo's patent rejection. And this was actually not a game that was developed by Pokemon themselves. It was just, an indie game made by a fan because this fan wanted, 3D Pokemon where you throw Pokeballs in, in a full 3D field.
After the application was initially rejected in late April 2026, Nintendo received another rejection in mid-July 2026, according to the Japan Patent Office filings obtained by GameFry. Wait, is this who we're reading it from?
No, this is a different article. We're reading from Game
Uh,
Rant.
Game Rant. The examiner maintained that Nintendo's claims lack the innovative step because they combine gameplay and touchscreen technologies already demonstrated in earlier material, notably the critic
They cited prior art included not only titles from third-party publishers, but also a Pokemon fan project titled Pokemon Generations. So
Yeah, I thought
what
you
do you
had to
know?
create something new and unique in order to patent it, not like combine technologies from others and go, here.
Yeah, well, what do you know? In this world of open domain, who knew that the fans of Pokemon basically screwed screwed their makers over? It's crazy. So, in saying that though,
I have to wonder if the Godzilla franchise would turn around and sue Pokemon next.
oh, I think everybody's basically in and on it too. They're gonna have beef with Pokemon, and Pokemon's really gonna feel it. So,
Except for the
instead,
diehard Pokemon fanboys who'd probably sacrifice themselves.
dude, the cope coming out of them from Power World has been surreally crazy. It's it's something else. I haven't really seen it, but man. But in that said, though, it's crazy that you know all the other stuff, all the mobile games, all these fan projects have basically served to undermine Pokemon's case because they can't. What do you do? You cannot monopolize that sort of thing and just weaponize it. And apparently, the JPO, the Japan Patent Office, said in blunt terms, they basically bitch slapped Pokemon just for to stop making these baseless lawsuits.
I honestly can't wait to see how this all ends up. Well, this is what happens when the internet tries to go to mega corporation into like suing somebody.
No, no, no. The fans didn't go to Nintendo to sue Power World. Nintendo, Pokemon themselves. Nintendo made that very decision by themselves.
Yes, and this was long after you had a whole bunch of people online turning around and demanding that Nintendo sue Power World.
I mean, it's one thing, but then again, I think Nintendo kind of saw the writing on the wall, like when they saw the amount of sales Power World was getting, the Steam player charts when early access came out, like nearly 2 million,
Yeah,
if not
when
that.
things didn't calm down, that's when Nintendo thought, "All right, let's do what everyone online says we should do and start suing suing Power World to the ends of the world."
And funnily, they didn't sue them for the inspired designs. They sued them to gameplay mechanics to try and get the game shut down completely. But no, Power World was quick on their feet. So what they're doing, and yeah.
So, what's next for our little adventure?
Well, in this case, now that we've had our fill of Power World and that and Pokemon, we can now shift gears and tacks into our future, into our new future overlords that will probably be walking around us. It's the tours.
Here we go.
Oh yeah. World's first Centaur robot for high-speed travel and heavy lifting.
Now, I do imagine that something like this is going to be far easier for the computer inside to actually maintain balance. Because walking on two legs is surprisingly difficult, and it always confused me as to why so many researchers would try to develop, humanoid robots.
Yeah, it's crazy too. I mean, Yeah, I know. The Chinese were in on it too, but no, no, no. It's not the design that we were interested in. It's this one here.
I
Centaurus. Well, the name itself should tell you everything. Has it made this goat-headed centaur robot, and it, like I said, what do you think it looks like? Is it nightmare fuel? Tell me, tell me.
no, I'm just thinking how many furries with enough money are going to turn around, buy that, and put a fursuit over it.
Oh, it's something else. I'm telling you now, you're not wrong. They could, if they knew, they could do that. Like they could tear the head out and like and resculpt it with a wolf head and or whatever, and then there you go. They've now lived their furry dream, except it's a tour. And what about you, Noble? You showed me one picture of an orca tour.
Yeah, there are also several others.
And
Look, that's where my mind is going. There's going to be somebody once these become on the go on the market. They're going to make a furry version of it. It's just how it's going to be.
yeah,
Actually, there's another furry. I have to wonder. He's in Australia too. I have to wonder if he's going to try to buy it and do this mod.
I think they could too. I bet you, given enough time, somebody is definitely gonna modify it to their own taste and preferences for personal use or whatever. So let's go through this for a bit of context. Somewhere in Auburn, California, a robotic startup called Centaurus looked at the two great religions of modern robotics, the bipedal humanoid and the robot dog, and decided that both were not quite right. So they created three halves, a machine standing roughly 2 meters tall, with a humanoid torso grafted to a four-legged locomotion base, an angular horn skull with illuminated eyes, and power tools where its hands should be. It is quite literally a centaur. And
Yeah,
yeah, and it's so crazy too. Like, robotics has become a lot of a crazy thing. Like you've got people are still experimenting with what kind of form factor the robot should be. Like, do we have like a robot that's like designed after a human body shape, the robo dog, something like that, or like the thing that has like a unicycle that instead of it just has a mono wheel and it stands upright.
there's so many designs.
And yet all of them, one company says it's like that. You know what? We're gonna just make a Centaur, combine the best of both.
I mean, the body structure would give you the arm, the hands that you want, and the legs would be, like I said before, be a lot easier to keep stabilized.
Yeah, I mean that's the logic of it all, sure. And yet there's still a lot of things like ramifications that come with the design if you really think about it. So they said Satoress is saying this: human-like torso and arms allow for natural teleoperation and interfacing with designed for human tools and environments. That's what they said. The upper bodies are useful, but the legs are a liability. Sator is saying this though. Quadruped body with friction brake joints allows for a stable platform with no latent power consumption when not in motion, and increased stability and fail-safes over a biped in both normal operation and in the event of loss of motor control.
That's just a scientific way of what I said.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, what happens if a robot or a mech basically loses power and topples over? Like if they say, "Help! I've fallen and I can't get up."
So, is there any idea on when they're releasing this as a product, or
Well, I don't know yet. We're gonna have a look through too. Like we're gonna go on their official website of Satares and their free halves robot. and we're just going to check this out first. Look at this, a superhuman, no, a general purpose robot that does this. Do you trust this with a chainsaw?
I don't think so. Yeah, plug it into ChatGPT and watch it like start carving through like a crowd of people. It'd just be
Uh-huh.
wrong.
See, they're thinking that these robots will be used for jobs that are basically, considered too dangerous or too risky for humans to go in, like search and rescue due to risk of injury or death, extreme heat, bitter cold, pitch darkness, or other conditions like like being gassed or something like that.
Just don't have lithium batteries.
Otherwise, bam, spontaneous combustion, just like every EV does.
So this is the point where I have to ask whether or not a ferry in Australia known as Goldfur would turn around and buy one of these.
Hey, well, at least if the centaurs have a way to live their dreams, because I think a quad's, yeah, yeah, maybe. Because here's the funny thing: I don't know if it's in my knowledge yet if a centaur, a proper, fully functioning centaur suit exists. I know quad suits exist, but a centaur suit?
Well, a traditional way of doing it usually has two people, but I have seen some designs that allow just a single person, although it tends to be a bit heavy.
Right? Yeah. It's
Not to
really a
mention
really.
you got those Jurassic Park costumes
Oh, brother.
running around as a velociraptor. I mean,
It's
Adam Savage made
yeah.
one for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, what do we got
Yeah,
on
there's a lot
next?
more than to that too, though. Look at them. This is on their marketing tool. This robot is more dangerous than it looks.
Yeah, the eyes kind of work for that.
It's like that picture itself, like with no superimposition or anything, with just the door right in front of it and the robot. Yeah, that's kind of just telling you all it really needs.
Are they trying to go with Jurassic Park vibes or something?
Oh no, no, no! I wouldn't say that though. I would say they're doing the whole thing with because they're inspired by the mythos of the satyr and that like they made it look like a goat. It's in the name. Satyrs are basically thingos usually with goat faces and horns, but they have hooves instead where their feet should be. So I would
Ah,
say more than anything else, the design choice is absolutely 100% inspired.
I don't think I should look up Goat Tour for some reason. Oh wait, would it be Caprator? Ah, the joys of online communities.
I mean, if you really want to do all of that with tours, you could theoretically make a scientific name out of it for something. Whatever tour. What do you call if you call a fox tour? Do you call a fox tour a Volp tour?
Actually, I think it was called Vixen Tours. Sometimes they get referred to as. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
It's weird.
But you know what's so thingo? It's so crazy is that like you saw the robot now, like it has no hands.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Although I'm assuming it's designed for specific applications.
Right. Like dexterous, they say this though, well from a different article. Dexterous robotic fingers are the humanoid industry's most expensive vanity project, and their logic is that they're too fragile for real work. So, robot arms and all of that are just, aren't like five thingos. They're like claw, like, those claw machines you see, in a way. So this robot says it has a quick connect wrist interface that provides uncompromised tool positioning, accuracy, and repeatability. 12-volt, 18-volt, 48-volt power, as well as air can be provided to attachments from the robot side.
So you have to get special tools for it to operate.
Right, like and that modularity, if you really wanted that, probably will come at a good, will command a good premium. So I guess if you really, really think about it, it's going to cost quite a bit.
The whole machine is engineered for abuse. All limbs, torso, and head can be replaced and recalibrated in minutes if damaged. And shares 3 common fasteners for the entirety of their serviceability, accessibles. Australian claims that on its website, the machine is also designed to be easily carried around onto work sites, as 2 of them can fit side by side crouched position in a pickup bed 5 foot by 6 inches.
5'6", yeah,
1.7
5'6" inches.
meters. Or with a long tailgate closed.
Yeah, like you get a big enough, and it'll carry the robot. Or worst case, you have to have the doors closed down and everything folded up. But that said, it's kind of crazy. Like, this is a different robot, though. It's a robot that has no autonomy. Like, it's teleoperation. Like, a human pilot sits with a joystick style controls, latency free, wearing it like a durable avatar from a safe distance. We are taking a teleoperation approach not to replace skilled workers, but give skilled workers superpowers in jobs that are dangerous for humans now. And that's what they were saying. They want to use the robots for wildfire fronts, toxic industrial zones, operate them during mudslides, rubble searches, and so forth. Like, search and rescue, that sort of thing. What happens if a nuclear plant goes down to crap? And yeah.
Well, that last part of that paragraph, and in places where business cases get measured in funeral avoided.
Yeah, because that's their hope. Like, they think that this is basically gonna limit the human cost to such dangerous operations.
I'm sorry, I still can't get off of the idea that some rich furry's going to turn around and dress one of these things up.
Oh, some rich would, but if that's your vision, oh, dude.
And then probably plug it into
tell you with that.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, if that's basically going to be your end case, use case, or the one thing that you've aspired to, is to have a Centaur that you can just, dress up and all that. Yeah. So, in that said, though, Centaurs have not yet released any sort of price tag or anything regarding this robot. And one would think that, it's going to be costing in the many, many thousands.
I'm thinking more like hundreds of thousands.
Oh, yeah, at this point in time.
Fully decked out for at least one application, you'd be looking at tens of thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, easily. And the robots are still, in the early days, and the accessibility for the general public is very limited.
Wait, does Bandai own the Transformers franchise?
Oh, right, Power. Oh, that and Gundams.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Where
you're going.
Seriously, if you're going to turn around.
Maybe one day they'll build Gundams for real.
Well, actually, there is some guy trying to build one.
I hope, go live your dream, I tell ya. Probably a better use case than getting a Centaur, I'll say that much. But hey, robotics is a very, very complicated sort of thing. It's, yeah, because at the end of the day, do you welcome these new Centaur overlords?
No, but at least they're building them so they're not designed to plug straight into AI. Although I do imagine they're going to end up having to build like AI modules for them, just for the customer base if they take off.
I mean, they did say it's got no autonomy in that. It's just basically a remote operated tool more than anything else.
I don't see that stopping them for too long.
True, true, true. I mean,
Well, the other
given how
issue is when it comes to investors, if it doesn't have AI, it's not interesting.
I mean that's the biggest thing right now because everybody and their mother wants to get in on the AI bubble.
Yeah, except for the general public.
Yeah, no, because it affects computer prices and everything else. And AI is just it's just a big cluster of things right now. Just trust everything to the computers. What a great idea.
Oh yeah, it totally won't erase your entire business.
Oh, absolutely not. You can completely well and truly trust it. It's 100% safe and reliable. hmm I said that with a straight face. So, that said, though, that's really where we are up to right now, and those Centaur robots are definitely, yeah, crazy. Though I will say, I bet you're right. One furry is probably going to be able to afford it because there are ostensibly a crazy number of suspiciously wealthy furries.
Well, if they can't buy one, they're just going to make it.
Oh, they're not at that point yet, unless somebody who works in robotics. Then,
No, seriously, Joel. There are a few projects out there that currently build the little dogs. It
yeah,
doesn't take too much of a leap to turn around and just put like a torso on it.
right. Like make it multifunction and just add like a human body on top of it and turn it into a centaur.
Yep.
Yeah, well, could be. It's got its own challenges to deal with, but we're not at that point just yet. So let's wait and see. So, one last thing that we've got. Here's another weird oddball article that we've got for you.
I wish we could just go into the Onion Network and pull these out, but unfortunately, real life seems to be too out there these days.
Well, life imitates art, and sometimes reality is stranger than fiction.
Yay for the Scream movies. So,
Well,
what's this gaming one about?
yep. Okay. University of Silicon Valley offers scholarships for rare gaming achievements. No,
What?
I'm not joking here. It's crazy, right? Like now you can basically go on there and get a degree apparently for to collecting the rarest gaming achievements.
This is a universe. Can you leave the news article up because this is
Um
a bit
Hang on. We're going to go through to the website of the University of Silicon Valley and see what their whole deal is first and foremost.
ah.
Right, it's the California's Technical College. That's what it seemingly is about. Interesting. And yet they offer a degree like this. Like, let's have a
I'm
look.
guessing art wasn't good enough anymore, or it's losing interest in the general population, so they got to expand things a little.
Right, because let's have a look in academics. BA, game art, game design, digital animation, game engineering, software, cybersecurity, data science, digital audio music production, business administration. And then there's this. So now this is their blurb. Max Achievement Scholarship. You've mastered world's most players never finished. Now your persistent strategy and systems thinking can earn you up to $15,000 a calendar year at USV.
How are you making money playing games without streaming and flogging off like cheap ass merchandise?
It's great.
No,
Yeah,
seriously, this is the
yeah.
question I have. How are you supposed to make money, doing a course like this, if you're not like streaming and like flogging off cheap ass merchandise and shelling out for like some weird ass
Here's
company?
yeah. We're going to get into that right now. Let's have a look. At the this is what their blurb is. At the University of Silicon Valley, we believe mastery takes many forms. The Max Achievement Scholarship honors students who have demonstrated exceptional persistence, systems thinking, and creative problem solving, even in digital worlds. These are the same cognitive skills that fuel innovation, entrepreneurship, polymathic excellence. If you've earned it in game, it can count towards your future. So the Max Achievement Scholarship recognizes students who have demonstrated extraordinary mastery, persistence, and systems thinking through the completion of rare and demanding achievements in digital gaming environments. This merit-based scholarship rewards the same qualities that drive academic excellence, discipline practice, strategic problem solving, and the pursuit of mastery beyond minimum requirements. Now, I think this is the sort of thing that basically rewards people who have that grind set and maybe, willing to throw a couple of bucks at their favorite games.
Hang on a minute. Wasn't it South Korea that had this massive obsession with StarCraft like a decade ago?
Yeah, they probably still do.
Right, because I remember watching a documentary based on that, and if I remember correctly, the top players would usually get hired by like giant corporations to handle like strategic stuff, business planning, that sort of thing, because the game relied on you being able to sit there, plan out, and then launch attacks. I wonder if that's the same sort of thing here, and they're just, oh, this is going to be right for abuse.
Yeah, this is going to be ripe for abuse and all of that. This is going to be. This is like the. It sounds to me like it's the most pretentious dingo
Look,
scholarship or whatever it is.
using that as points, as long as you don't fake it, it's like okay, but you have to be able to translate the actual gameplay into real world things that you can achieve. Because you can be
No,
good in a virtual world and something, but when you take it from virtual sort of setting into reality, it can muddy the water a little bit.
oh no. That's not the whole scope. I think you're missing the whole scope of this proposed scholarship. See, what the university is trying to do is basically trying to increase their enrollment figures from pro gamers, thinking that they're with the with the incentive that their gaming achievements can count for a scholarship.
Yeah, that hasn't gotten past me.
So I mean, good luck to that though. But I think they're missing the whole scope of it all. So they said this. So this is the award structure. Ultra rare, your benefits at USV. This is what they think. Their legendary tier, they can award $5,000 per term with 3 terms per year. Criteria: ultra rare accomplishments requiring 500 plus hours of sustained mastery across complex systems. Oh, that gobbledygook, pretentious speak. I love that. I love how pretentious that just sounded.
So, do they break this down into what games and what
Yes, they
things you need
do.
to?
So on and so on. Mastery tier, significant achievements. You must maintain a free GPA to keep going with this. And their verification environments are this. They have to be verified with public profiles, APIs, and so forth. Game environment, specific achievement earned. And here's their achievement categories, the list you've been waiting for. Live service games. RuneScape. Achieve the max cape, all 23 skills to level 99. Final Fantasy 14, 20 combat jobs, max level. You got multiple massively multiplayer online games, MMOs. completions and top, 10 plus platinum trophies, 100,000 plus gamer score. Steam, 5% perfect games, 100% achievements, average global less than 5%. Gosh. I
Now,
could, if I really wanted to go for it, I could actually qualify for this scholarship. If free perfect games, 100% achievements on your Steam profile, mastery of challenging titles.
now I'm assuming that they're using this as a way of partially paying for other courses.
See, they're trying to get, increase gamer enrollments and incentivize gamers into studying at this university.
You do realize, Joel, do you know about the whole gaming, the black market to online gaming, or one of them?
Right.
You hand your account details over to a service and somebody plays the game for you to get all the achievements or to get you to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to ask, what would be the price difference between getting high achievements in like 2 or 3 games versus paying the amount that you would get from the college, as what I'm assuming is credit towards another course.
Well, if you wanted to go that route, yeah, good luck. You've spent all that money. But then again, if you played it the legitimate way, the scholarship thing, you basically have to outlay enough money on games and consoles to be able to be eligible for that in the first place.
Yeah, and up until about 2020, that would have been possible. But nowadays,
I just love I just love their whole criterion for all of this. It's something else. I just love that their choice of games, challenging games, Dark Souls, Sekiro, Celeste, Hollow Knight, all of that. I just love how this is gonna work. And last of all, you know, the application requirements. Let's get to that. Let's read that. 1. Achievement verification package. Screenshots or official profile links showing all that. Account verification, date of completion, so forth. Verification. Standard application materials. Complete the USV admission to the university. High school or college transcripts. SAT, the tests. The educational tests from your high school and all of that. And a mastery reflection essay, 500 to 750 words, saying, reflect on what your pursuit of mastery taught you about learning, persistence, or problem solving.
so a lot of wank, in other words.
Right. It's basically, like some sort of, I sound smarter than I actually am sort of pretentious thing just to get into this university for a scholarship.
Well, I think I understand why philosophy is so important nowadays.
I mean, this is basically kind of like the equivalent of getting an arts degree of some sort.
Ah, the art degrees. I love America for that.
Yeah. And this is, and I bet and imagine a non-zero number of people would actually do such a thing. And of course, people get art degrees all the time, but it doesn't get you a good paying job.
Has anyone already taken advantage of this, or?
Well, if you're willing to move to that part of California, you could.
Well, no, I'm not asking if you can. I'm asking if anyone has. Do they have any documented
To my
cases of someone
knowledge,
already taking
no.
advantage of this? Right. Because I do imagine that if someone was to sit there and watch maybe 30 hours of someone live streaming a game and then design their own like fake screenshots, they could probably bypass the whole process.
Right, or like somebody basically trying to speed run their video, speed run their way into the USV scholarship application program.
Yeah, I imagine you wouldn't have to be that creative to turn around and get past all this sort of stuff. I mean, you have to be creative with your words, so you have to be a con man. But yeah, once you get past that, you're pretty much sailing.
Oh, it's not that bad though. I suppose it's just kind of what it is, though. Ah, that reminds me. I probably should have thought about having somebody on, but that's just kind of what it is. Oops. Oh well, it's just what it is. Ah, but if we had anyway. But I suppose that's pretty much all we've got for this week. And I do want to say yes, I know life has probably gotten the better of us in this past month. I know we kind of skipped July, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I kind of wish I'd cabled myself in this morning instead of just relying on Wi-Fi. It always worked before. I mean,
See,
yeesh.
I tell you that what cabled internet connections are way more stable than Wi-Fi all the time, especially if you're in a multi-story building,
Hmm.
because no amount of only range extenders and that can only do so much. But I would say it's an interesting selection of stuff, all things considered, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Really surprising how you had Power World actually finally getting to their goal and now releasing their own cards. You've had Centaur robots, which I'm surprised didn't exist already.
Well, it took them
Uh,
time, but finally somebody got there, I think.
yeah. Nintendo trying to go ass over, getting their ass handed to them by the patent office in Japan. Where I think initially, didn't they turn around and sort of get a big ass win? No, that was in America.
No, no, that didn't exist. They only won chump change, like $30,000, $40,000 US valued of it in a settlement, and that's all they won. The legal fees didn't, like they won, but at what cost? That's the question you got to ask.
The joys of battling.
Oh, no, no, no. Legal battles is pretty much that's exactly what it is, though. You can win the lawsuit, but at what cost? And yeah,
Let's alienate the entire industry.
exactly.
So, what were your thoughts on this whole thing, Jolt?
I
Well, at
mean,
least
it's.
the segments for today.
I picked these out just because they were the best, the ones that were just the most best, funniest, and most outlandish going forward. It's just funny to think though. But of
Mm.
course, I knew this the Centaur one. We had to gallop away with it. Excuse the pun.
Yay for the puns.
Yeah, but I suppose that's really all of those. So I suppose we'll close up here. You can, as always, you can find our episodes on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Play.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more. Well, that's all we've got for the week. Until next time.
Bye.